Oh. You guys didn't see any of that. I just looked like a crazy person just now, I'm sure. I feel like I just don't even want to explain that, and I'll just leave that as my open. You guys have no idea what I just did. Hey there, creepy peeps. Welcome to another Weird Wednesday video. Happy February. Happy Women in Horror Month. The month of February. So I thought that I would kick off Women in Horror Month with a tag video that I kind of made up, I think. I was looking to see if there was some sort of tag I could kind of modify to fit the horror genre in terms of female characters, directors, blah 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 blah, to fit for Women in Horror Month. But I couldn't find anything. Well, I couldn't find any that were specifically for this month, or specifically women in movies or anything like that. Nothing that I could really modify towards horror movies. So I kind of just came up with general questions you would probably find in a movie tag and stuff like that, and just obviously it's going to be within the context of Women in Horror Month, obviously. I don't know if anyone has done this. This is the 7th year that this is being officially celebrated, I think. 5th or 6th? No, not 5th. 7th. It's the 7th. And I definitely know there's Instagram tags and stuff, or Instagram challenges, I think they call them, floating around for this month, but I didn't see any YouTube-y type ones, so I think I'm creating this, but not really, you know what I mean. And I will leave the questions down below in the description if you want to answer them for yourself or make a video answering them yourself. If you do, send it to me or let me know somehow, because I want to see. So the first question I'm gonna ask is favorite female horror movie director, or just a female that has directed horror movies, which is kind of my answer. Karen Kusama, I think that's how you say her last name. I'm not really sure. I don't know, I just I did a review of The Invitation at some point. It'll pop up there somewhere. And I just out of nowhere completely love that movie, and I had no idea going into it that Kusama directed that. The last thing I'd seen from her is Jennifer's Body, and I feel like those, The Invitation and Jennifer's Body, are two completely different movies. I love them both for different reasons, but they just seem like two completely different movies, and I think it really shows her range just between those two movies as a director. I think that's really cool. So right now, I feel like she's my favorite one. She was the first one that popped into my head when I was thinking about that. Second question, of course, you gotta ask what your favorite Scream Queen is. And I think that's no surprise, and this is one of the ones that never changes. It's Neve Campbell. I mean, Scream is my favorite horror movie and franchise. Is it a franchise, or 4 movies enough for a franchise? What's the definition of a franchise? I don't know, but she's definitely my favorite. She kicks ass, all 4 Scream movies. She just emotionally goes through hell, but still comes out of it basically a whole person, and I think that's pretty impressive. So she's always my favorite, of course. I don't think that was a surprise to anybody. 3, favorite female horror character type, or stereotype, I guess. Can you have a favorite stereotype? I don't know. I feel like stereotype has negative connotations to it, but you know what I mean, favorite character type or caricature type. I don't know what I'm saying. My favorite is the overly liberated woman. Maybe the question makes more sense now that I've answered it. I like horror movies that are about overly liberated women, because they're usually just it's usually just a girl just creating all this fucking chaos, and I think it just says a lot about society when those movies come out. when those movies come out about how afraid society is of women gaining too much power. So a good and probably the best example of that would be like Carrie, for example. That would be like that kind of character. I always enjoy seeing a horror movie that's like that. 4, flip side of that question, your least favorite female horror movie stereotype. Now stereotype fits more in there because it's your least favorite. Jealous lover. That is my least favorite one. I'm all for killer women. I love seeing a killer woman, like actual killer woman, like serial killer woman. Just hate when it's always about them being jealous over a guy or something like that. Like, we can't get mad or just go crazy sometimes, you know? We could just go crazy and start killing people for no reason. That could be a thing. I think that's one stereotype that we can just do away with for the rest of time and never see that again. Question 5. Favorite female villain. So specifically, the first one that came to my head when I thought about this question was Annie Wilkes from Misery. Right now, for the time being, she is my favorite female villain. Or one of my favorite, I guess. I don't know. She was a badass. She was just batshit crazy. Batshit crazy. And I mean, hell, she kept Paul Sheldon there forever. She was smart about it too. And I mean, she gets points for that hobbling scene. 6, final question. I didn't know how many to do, so I just went with 6. I guess I should have gone with 7 because it's the 7th. Damn it. Damn it. I should come up with the last question. I don't know. Okay, maybe I will. I'll think of one while I'm answering this question. Underrated female horror movie character. I went with Erin from You're Next. I feel like You're Next is still kind of that underrated movie, I think. I don't know, I feel like everyone's still I feel like there's a lot of mixed reviews on it and a lot of people didn't like it, but I really enjoyed it. And I loved Erin's character. I loved her background and I like her survivalist background and how that made her just like a complete badass. A lot of people didn't like that. I've read so many reviews that were just like, it wasn't fun anymore because she already knew how to do all these things and to fight back. I guess as opposed to our final girl growing into that character by the end of the movie, like emotionally, like getting to that stage where she can fight back and start killing people, I guess. I don't really know. At least that's what I've read a lot in terms of this character, that they don't like that she already knew how to like do all this stuff, which I'm like, why? What's wrong with that? Like, she kicked a whole lot of ass. Okay, so now I feel like I gotta come up with a 7th question because it makes sense, right? Because it's 7th annual Women in Horror Month. Damn it. Okay, well, I don't have an answer to this, but I'll tack it on at the end for you guys to answer. Who is your most overrated female horror character? Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I don't know, I just kind of like pulled it out of my ass a little bit, but it fits with the theme this month. So please answer the questions for yourself in the comment section down below, or if you want to make a video where you answer these questions, like I said, let me know so I can watch it. And yeah, happy February, happy Women in Horror Month, and until next time, stay strange. Bye!